Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, 2 obsolete flavors that taste great together, Virtual Boy and F-Zero. Call for help at the 3 Rocks. So the Nintendo Cartridge Society calls for help with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I am joined, as I am always joined, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. We've got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about the news from the week, including the details of the Virtual Boy on NSO. And then on Thursday, we're kicking off Resident Evil month with a discussion of the GameCube classic, the Resident Evil remake. But Mark, in the meantime, how's it going?
It's going great.
Mark, I've got a question for you.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay,
Go for it.
So, picture this. You're driving. It's nighttime.
Uh-huh.
And there's someone in front of you driving.
Okay.
A car in front of you.
Yeah.
Their lights not on. Their lights are off.
Mm-hmm.
What action do you take, if any, and what things do you think about before either taking or not taking this action?
Well, the first thing you always have to think about is, do they have a gun? Are they crazy?
Sure. Right.
The second, go ahead.
No, you just you. So okay, that's the first thing is, am I dealing with a crazy person?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead.
The second thing is this would be the perfect time for my invention, which is, one of those like LED boards like that scroll text.
Yeah. Yes.
I guess you wouldn't actually have to do that anymore. You could probably just have an LED board or a screen that projects, or not projects, but like displays text. But when I thought of this idea many years ago, it was one of those like LED boards, that would maybe be at a school or in the window of a 7-Eleven that scrolls text.
Yes, sure. Uh-huh.
And you could type a message to the person.
And you're doing this while you're driving.
You're doing this while you're driving.
Okay, great.
You type a message to the person being like, hey, check your lights. But then it's reverse, like how ambulance is reversed.
Yes,
That way they can see it in their rearview mirror,
right.
See the message you are sending them. And then they could use on their back bumper. They, of course, have one of these as well.
Of course.
And so they could type back, thank you.
Right. And you're doing all this typing as you're driving.
So those are the first like 2 or 3 things that would cross my mind if I saw somebody driving at night without their lights on. The fourth thing would probably be like, do I flash my lights at them like by brights?
Okay. Right. So this is the nugget of the thing that I want to get through. Although I love that you have this like pet invention idea. Is it an urban legend that is like a gang initiation ritual of drive around with your headlights off, wait for someone to flash you, and then drive that person off the road?
I've never heard this before.
Okay, so Mark's never heard this before.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. This is something that I took as like gospel as a child, or, of early driving age, that like if you see someone without their lights on, just let them go and like don't put yourself in possible harm's way.
Oh yeah, that's
feels like real razor blades in candy apple.
Sure, Dungeons
territory.
and Dragons will connect you with Satan type of
Mazes
like
and monsters.
yes,
Yes,
yeah. No, that I've just never heard that before. So maybe I've been naively flashing my lights at people. Although I would say I usually
Do you?
No, I don't usually. I usually just steer clear of them.
Just give them a wide berth.
Yeah.
It happened on my way here today that there was someone in front of me. A van getting on the 5. And at nighttime, and so I did flash I did sort of an aggressive.
And you led them here,
and they're here now. They've got thoughts about Pikmin. And they didn't turn on their lights right away, but by the time we were all like merged in together, I could clock the van later and that the lights were on. So I don't know if I was the only one doing that or what, but I think I'm just kind of like, whatever. If that's if this is how I go, this is how I go.
I would be super curious to know if other people have heard that as well. Like if that's like a well-known thing. It does seem like it feels like something that'd be on Snopes.com. You know what I mean? Like one way or the other.
Right.
We of course are not going to do that research,
No,
but
no,
it seems like something that would be on there.
I like your invention.
Thank you.
I think it should come preloaded with phrases, though.
That's probably a good idea.
Because otherwise, there's just going to be a lot of. I was about to say horrible words, and then I realized we can't say those words on this show.
Oh, but I see what you're saying. Swearing.
People would
There'd be a lot of
swearing at
swearing.
each other,
yeah,
yeah.
and it's a lot of typing. It'd be a lot of typing.
Yes.
To get your message out. No, I think that's a good note. I can take that note.
Here's maybe what it should be. Instead of words, it should be the emotes from The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes.
Oh, interesting.
And so you could just, that like this way or sort of like shrugging Link emoji.
Uh-huh.
I think that's probably what it should be.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, maybe we just have two competing products.
Oh, I see. And we'll just let the market decide which is better.
That's right.
Speaking of the market and things that you can decide, you can head on over to patreon.com if you would like to support us. And if you do so at the 8 or 16-bit levels, you get access to our once-a-month episodes of miniseries like NCS at the movies.
Yes, where Patrick, myself, and most of the times a special guest are going to the movies to see a movie and then talking about it. We just, in January, put out an episode that's actually like 3 mini episodes. We talk about 3 movies that we saw in January. And in February, we are going to see, that's right, Scream 7, which I'm really excited for.
Me too.
It's a reason for me to get caught up on the last 3 Scream movies. So yeah.
How much do you know about the 3 Scream movies you haven't seen?
Basically nothing.
Okay, so there was a moment in the because we went to a movie this weekend. We saw Send Help. Great, loved it. Recommend Send Help. But there was a trailer for Scream 7 before it, and there was something in there that I wanted to be like, how is that even possible? But I didn't pose the question to you because I don't know what you know about various states of those characters.
Yeah, I know nothing.
Very good. Can't wait to hear more about your Scream journey and then watch the 7th movie with you. Also, if you are interested in following us at other levels on Patreon, either the 4-bit level or even the free level, there is content for you to check out from our previous miniseries. So go over there, check that out, have a good time. Also, if you would like to have a good time, you can go to our Discord. Email us, Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com, and we will send you an invitation. The rhythm is weird right now. I don't know why, but we're going to get there. I think there's a mosquito or something flying around.
Yeah.
It's distracting us
It's
both.
distracting.
It's a big guy.
Yeah, maybe we'll pause and I'll take care of this baby.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Bug has been slain, and we're back, and we're focused, and everything's back on track.
That's right. If we were to read the email address again, we'd be in perfect sync.
We have to assume, because we're not going to find out. We do have a little bit of a debug from last week.
Yes, that's right. So on Thursday, we were talking about the canonical doubles partners in Mario Tennis 64.
Yes.
And we ranked them. And as part of it, we were discussing King Boo. And
even though King Boo is not a character in Mario Tennis 64.
Right. We were talking about Boo. And then we were wondering, why would Boo align with Bowser? And we were theorizing that maybe it's because King Boo and Bowser have some sort of alliance. And so even though King Boo is king of the Boos, he loans out his Boo soldiers or whatever to Bowser's cause.
Yes.
But this led us to the question of what other king enemies are there?
Right. And we only named King Boo and King Bob-omb the first boss in Mario 64.
Yes. But Drew in the Discord reminded us of Womp King,
which is the second boss in Mario 64.
And I have to, it bothers me that it's not King Womp, that it's Womp King.
Sure.
I don't care for that.
Yeah. I hear
just wish it was consistent.
The rest of them, yes. I see. Yes.
It's the difference between a king mattress and a mattress king.
Did you say kink?
King mattress.
King and mattress king.
Yeah. I feel like they denote two different things to me.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe it is although it seems like the ordering would be off. Womp king. So is it a king size womp?
Well, he has a crown though.
Right. Okay. So maybe two things can be true.
Yeah, maybe two things.
Because actually, for all of these guys, they're larger than the rest of them.
Yeah, that's
than
true.
Their subjects.
Well, here's the naming that really bothers me. So there's also a King Goomba.
Yes.
That is introduced in Paper Mario, but has shown up in other games. But when he was added to Super Mario 64 DS, his name was changed to Goomboss as one word.
Right.
But he still has a crown, and I I just don't understand why these choices are being made. Why can he not be King Goomba?
Why could he not be King Goomba, or at least like try to keep the? Because I understand what we're doing. We're using that B, and that's fun, right? But like, can't we try to keep that in the like realm of regality, and he could be like a Goombaron or something?
Yeah, yes.
I just feel like that a Goombishop possibly.
That is an exciting wrinkle.
I do. I like him being a religious leader. Yeah, I like that.
It opens doors to the worlds of the Goomba. Of course, that's not the world we live in because he's a Goom boss. But yeah, thank you for reminding us of these, Drew, and for the fact that because you talked about King Goomba, but we ruled him out because
I thought he was just in Paper Mario. Kind of incredible that the King Goomba, even with the name change, escaped the confines of Paper Mario. Very few like character variations do that.
Totally.
So we tip our hat to you, Goombishop, and we we will see you at your next sermon.
But still an interesting question. Like, what is the relationship between these different kingdoms?
Yes.
Why are they all bending the knee for Bowser?
I mean, I think you could look to the modern day, and you've got your answer right there. All right, Mark, let's get into what we've been playing this week. Don't imagine we will stay here long because you and I have both been playing games on assignment at the moment. Resident Evil Remake we will be talking about with our good friend Jeremy Schmidt on Thursday's episode. And I continue to play Fire Emblem Awakening for the Super NPC Games Club. And I just wanted to update a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Because I'm still loving it. I love it to death. Playing on hard mode with permadeath on is every now and then truly kicking my teeth in. I have restarted chapter 11 no fewer than 6 times. And I always think this time's going to be different. I'm so close to being able to do it, but every attempt takes like 25 minutes.
And are you restarting
if anyone dies?
And is that because all the characters that you are using you have grown attached to, or just because you want to finish this chapter without anybody dying?
Sure. Well, okay. So a couple things. And this is the crew on the Super NPC Games Club have not gotten to this point in the story yet, but I will spoil a little bit about Fire Emblem Awakening here. That as you are building the relationships between characters, one of the things you have to keep in mind is that male and female characters that reach the romance level will have children that come to you from the future and aid you in battle. And so all of the mothers are preset, but all the fathers depend on whoever you pair them up with, right? So the female characters have this like extra value in the game as far as like combat and just gameplay is concerned, because if they die, they never have that child.
Oh, I see.
And so I don't want to lose out on future characters. Like if I lose my Pegasus Knight Cordelia, I lose her, but I also lose her daughter.
Yeah, I understand.
So
that's interesting.
There's a lot of that, and then also because I've got such like a tight knit group right now, and I've been working up these relationships really fast. That I don't want the fathers to die either. And because it is the absolute best when you get a mother, a father, and their child all like working together. They help each other out so much, and the stat boosts that they give each other are incredible. And so I just like, that's what I'm gunning for. So I'm restarting kind of over and over again to make it so I'm stronger in the future. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm investing in the future.
Yeah,
right now.
That does make sense. Especially also interesting because you're replaying it, so you have that like foresight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know you had talked about the like child mechanics and all that kind of stuff before, but I never considered that part of like permadeath. Yeah, that's really interesting.
And it's a game that I'm just absolutely loving. So it's fine that I have to restart this chapter over and over again.
It's a lot of times to restart it,
but
though.
It's been a lot. And I'm too deep at this point to like start over on normal. So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep grinding.
Can you
on it.
not change it at any time?
No.
Oh.
No. I'm pot committed at this point. So
And can you back out of this battle and like grind or something?
yeah, I can, but sometimes the grinding battles also mop the floor with me, and B, sometimes they don't level up enough to make a difference.
Hi.
Because some of the like issues with like a challenging Fire Emblem fight is that someone will swoop in out of nowhere and one shot one of your guys, and the difference between someone dealing like 40 damage and 27 damage, like they'll just deal 40 damage and you're like, my guy only has 27 hit points, right? And so like I can level. It's gonna take a long time to make up that sort of deficit there. So it's tough. I probably will grind a little bit more, but yeah, I mean it's just a genuinely challenging game on the hard difficulty with permadeath on.
Is hard difficulty the most difficult that there is, or if you beat
No,
hard,
there's
is there
another
like
one. There's another difficulty level called Lunatic, and all of the like walkthrough guides that I like consult, because there are recruitable characters in most chapters, and sometimes it's like a weird condition to recruit them, and so I always just like check that real quick. And on every guide, the Lunatic section is a separate like paragraph to be like. You have to have already have, if you don't have this, and this, go back and grind, because like you will not make it without these very specific things. So yeah, it's very hard. And I will never play it.
Totally okay if you want to save this for Games Club, but did you end up getting any Street Pass hits?
Oh, no, I did not. So I did, when we went to the movies on Sunday to see Send Help, I brought my 3DS and left it on to try and get some Street Passings, but no luck. Yeah, all right. So that's do you want to say anything about Resident Evil Remake?
No, my goodness. No, my lips are sealed.
Ooh, I like that. My lips are sewn shut like some weird experiment.
Ooh.
You may as well call my mouth the Lisa Trevor's parents, because they're sewn shut. I love that. We will talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk
Wednesday.
about it.
All right, Mark, that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get into the new releases and what we might be playing next week.
But first, let's make a pit stop at Nintendo Music to talk about the Tomodachi Life 3DS soundtrack. Well-timed release with the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream Direct last week.
Yes, and this is a game, Mark, that neither of us have any actual experience playing. I know you listen to a fair amount of just like video game playlists. Have you clocked when they like slip in a Tomodachi Life?
I feel like so there are some like me related playlists and things like that that I'll listen to when I'm working, and I do think that they have some Tomodachi Life tracks in there, but none that I could tell you the name of or anything like that.
So I was listening to this like the top tracks shuffled on my way over here while flashing my high beams at random drivers,
attracting gang members to my house.
And two like truly excellent tracks presented themselves to me. One called Letters from a Child, which is a little bit of like a folksier, like finger picking guitar sort of track. And then another one just called Proposals, or Proposal, maybe Proposal, which had like kind of a nice, the whole vibe of the thing is like a little bit of the sort of like normal video game, like background music, city pop kind of vibe, but with more of like an adult contemporary sort of feel to it. And Proposal felt more like genuine jazz to me. So check out both Proposal and Letters from a Child. They're both like really great pieces of music. There's also kind of your normal like kind of derpy like me related music.
Yeah.
But I think there are some like genuine gems on here, and has me excited, interested, anticipating the soundtrack to the new game.
I do wish that on Nintendo Music they would find a way to kind of like, I don't know, curate it or something where it's like,
right,
give me just the bops. I know they have top tracks, but I just want
we need
the
something
bops.
more discerning.
Yes.
Be like, just music a person may want to listen to.
And now that the other stuff is bad, it serves its
Some of
purpose.
it's bad.
I mean, some of it is bad, but it
Yeah.
serves its purpose. But I guess what I'm saying is that I'm lazy. I think this is what it comes down to. I don't
Yeah.
want to do this work for myself.
No, I want someone
somebody
else to do it.
curate it. Yeah. That's why I listen to these playlists on YouTube while I'm
Yes,
working. Somebody
yes.
has done that, or AI has done it anyways, and somebody's claiming credit for it. Okay, let's talk about
AI can only get its knowledge from a person. So like that knowledge has been stolen from a human being.
Yeah, at some point. February 5th, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Released on Switch 2 and Switch. I'm excited for playing this someday. I think this will continue my grand tradition of buying Dragon Quest games and then putting them off for a really long time before I get around to it. Because I've still got to get back to Rebirth. I'm not Rebirth. Oh wait, Final Fantasy Remake.
Yes.
Got to get back to Remake. So, anyways,
interesting that the Switch 2 version is a game key card and the Switch 1 version is the
an actual
whole
game card
thing on the card. Yeah, I'm also very excited about this. It may be one that I like put off as well, just as we're like playing Resident Evil games and stuff for this month in particular. And also like Dragon Quest games are so like slow paced, and you know like I can also wait for this game to come down in price a little bit. And
Sure,
I think that'll be good.
I do think it's, if my memory's right, it's already cheaper than, like, it's not a $70 game or even a $60 game.
I think it's a $60 game.
Oh, okay.
I think it is. But
So yeah, $60 game. Anyways, I'm excited for this, but yeah, I am, because here's my gaming schedule.
Yeah.
I finished Remake.
Resident Evil.
Yes, Resident Evil Remake.
Because
Yeah,
you're
that's
about
right,
to
that's
mention
right, 'cause
another one.
Yeah, no, great point.
Thank you.
Resident Evil Remake, I finished for all intents and purposes. Have a little bit more I would like to do, but I don't think. Basically, I finished my Jill run through,
Yes.
and I'm in a Chris run through.
You're playing the Chris
Yes,
scenario.
but I don't think I'm going to finish it. At least not now. And then but I do want to make a little more progress before we talk on Thursday. And then
I'm confirming, by the way, that Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined is $60.
$60. Okay.
Yes. And then Final Fantasy 7?
Yes, then Final Fantasy 7, and then Resident Evil at the end of the month. So that's kind of how I've blocked out my time right now. A
Very
little bit
good.
about me, a little bit about the games I'm planning to play.
Yeah, well, and you know, like, even if you don't buy it, I will try to get you over to play Tennis Fever at some point.
Oh, that's right. I actually totally forgot that
Done
was
like
coming
2
this
weeks,
month.
yeah.
But yeah. And then also on February 6th, PGA Tour 2K25 is released on Switch 2 exclusive on Nintendo platforms. And just interesting to me because it continues the like, hey, sports games are on Switch 2 now. There was a previous version of PGA Tour on Switch. It was maybe in 2020. It was 2K21, so maybe it was released in 21. But anyways, they haven't done it since. So this is the first time in a while that PGA Tour is coming to Switch 2.
How do golf games do? Like, do people buy them? Are they popular games? Like,
Yeah,
how
they
do
must
they compare
do
with
well
like other?
enough, right?
Yeah, I mean, they must if they keep making them. But it's also kind of like if you've got the license for like a major sporting league or franchise or whatever, that like you're gonna make games as frequently as possible, right?
Right.
But like I just want, because like it sort of feels like Hot Shots and Mario have like the market cornered on
But
golf
those are so
games, right?
arcadey. Like I would guess
True,
that there's
yeah.
like a market for a golf sim game that you can play as
Real
like,
people, and,
real people and all that kind of stuff. But I would guess it's similar to Madden, where they probably don't like mess with the
yeah, that it's basically the same
core
from year to
mechanics
year.
that much.
Yeah.
So it's just introducing new characters and some sort of people, and then some sort of like new
People
gameplay
can be
mechanic.
characters.
But yeah, I would be curious. You'd never hear about, like, it's not like PGA Tour 2K whatever is a best-selling game of the year or anything like that.
Right, there's no like PGA Tour curse of
Right,
like whoever's on the
right.
cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that still a thing? Does that still happen to people who are on the Madden cover?
Yeah, I don't know.
How old is it? This is as old and as archaic as my gang initiation flashing the high beams thing. All right, Mark, that's the new releases. Let's close this segment out. Which brings us to a regular segment on our show. It's time for 433. In 1952, American composer John Cage wrote a piece called 433, wherein a performer or group of performers didn't play their instruments for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. For the purposes of this show, our instruments are talking about Nintendo. So, for the duration of one performance, 433, Mark and I will talk about something not all Nintendo related, thus fulfilling the contract of the piece. Mark, take us away.
Yes, we have seen a fair number of horror movies.
That's true.
In January, and in February we're talking about Resident Evil, and we're going to be seeing Scream 7 for the Patreon. So I thought it'd be fun to do a BuzzFeed quiz, which is design your dream horror movie, and we'll reveal if you'd be the final girl or the first victim.
Okay, so are we answering these together?
I think we are, yes.
Okay, and where do you think we're going to land?
I really think we have final girl energy.
I think we have final girl energy as well.
I think so. Okay, so the beginning matters. What's the first scene of our horror movie?
Ooh.
A group of friends road tripping through nowhere,
Okay.
a family moving into an old Victorian era house, a mysterious tape that people keep dying after touching, not watching, just touching, a small town where mysterious deaths are on the rise, and a creepy boarding school meant for, quote, bad kids.
So I'm tempted to say that, what was the town one?
A small town where mysterious deaths are on the rise.
That feels like a cozy, like mystery kind of setting to
Sure,
me.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I think that's our vibe.
Okay, that's the one we're choosing. What does our main character look like? And this is actually, anyways, when I read these, you will also question the premise of that question. A skeptical crime journalist.
Okay.
An agoraphobe with a tragic past.
Uh-huh.
The scientist who messed with something they shouldn't have. The believer who everyone thinks is bonkers. The jaded detective who has sworn not to take up a new case.
So I'm going to say either the jaded detective or the scientist.
Yeah, I'm going to go with jaded detective, I think.
Yeah, let's go with the jaded
let's
detective,
do
yeah.
that. Where does the story take place? A suspiciously grand cabin deep in the woods.
Okay.
An abandoned theme
I
park.
thought we were in a small town, but okay. Abandoned theme park.
A picturesque town where the sun never shines.
Okay.
A post-apocalyptic wasteland, or a grand old mansion.
I mean, abandoned theme park,
I think
right?
so too. Yeah, for sure.
I don't think you
yeah,
and
we're
I
a
cannot
jaded
choose.
detective in a abandoned theme park in a small town where mysterious deaths are on the rise. Yeah.
Yeah, Famicom
Absolutely.
Detective Club 4.
Who is the monster/villain of our story? A masked human killer, a vengeful spirit, a parasitic alien, the town itself, or something ancient that has been awakened?
So if we say the town itself, do we mean the amusement park itself?
Or the amusement park that's within the town. Like maybe the amusement park is a symptom of like a town-wide problem.
Or maybe it's the only safe place.
Or maybe it's like a monster house situation where like the town, by the town itself, we mean like the buildings are literally eating people.
How about what was the like ancient evil that's been awakened?
Something ancient that has been awakened. Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we're crafting Nope a little bit. No, not Nope. Us a
Oh,
little
uh-huh.
bit. But I want to go with that one.
Okay, great.
An ancient evil that has been awoken at the amusement park.
How do your characters die? One by one in increasingly ridiculous ways. Each of them is consumed by their worst nightmare. Through possession and sacrifice. They don't die, but they lose their minds. They don't die, but they turn into monsters.
I don't know. What does your gut tell you on this one,
I think
Mark?
in increasingly ridiculous ways.
Sure, right. We like to have fun.
Yeah. Choose your horror movie aesthetic. Found footage type realism? I'm going to say no.
Okay, yeah.
Campy, saturated colors and over-the-top gore.
Maybe.
Modern, minimalist, and sinister? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Not for we're at an amusement park.
Yeah. Black and white, slow burn? I don't think so.
What's happening?
Aesthetically pleasing, served with a side of creepy. I think that's probably what
probably
it is.
us,
yeah.
yeah.
What's the twist in the story?
Oh my God.
The killer was in the friend group all along.
Sure.
The haunting was a cover-up for something human. They were already dead the whole time. The main character caused it all. Or the monster won and went haunting other spaces. I mean,
Wait.
I don't really like any of these twists.
So say again what the last one was.
The monster won. So I think the twist
the
is
monster
like,
wins.
yeah,
Okay, great. Again, a little bit like actually a couple of those are like the twist in Us. Okay. I don't know. What do you think we should do
I want to
here?
go with the killer was in the friend group all along.
Yeah.
That would mean that the ancient horror that has been awakened is in the friend group, and I like that idea. I like the idea that it's like obvious, like it's Cthulhu or something, and we're all just like,
We're just buds with him.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the movie's tagline? No
Okay.
one leaves alive. Some secrets should stay buried. We thought we were alone. The real horror is the truth.
No.
They open the door, now it won't close.
I think the first one.
No one leaves alive.
No one leaves alive.
Okay. Finally, Which actor do you want as the main character? Which I guess is not us, because we're either the final girl or the first victim.
Sure.
Do we want Amy Adams,
Okay.
Lupita Nyong'o, Toni Collette, Ben Affleck, Daniel Kaluuya?
Kaluuya, yeah.
Yeah, and then John Krasinski.
I guess Kaluuya?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm very Jordan Peele coded on all of my
Yes.
responses here. But
Well, I mean, here we go. We'd survive and get out. So, but that's
wait,
good
we
for us?
would survive and get out?
no.
Or we would
In,
survive
like,
get out?
yeah, we'd survive get out.
I don't think we would.
Are you saying this BuzzFeed quiz is wrong?
I think yes. All right, Mark. That's 433. Let's get into the news. Oh, sorry. We were accompanied today by a compilation on a Cinema Laboratory. Using a lot of the 433 recordings that we have used in the past. Now let's get into the news.
The end of that really, I dislike that quiz.
Yeah, me too.
I appreciate the person who created it because we, leveraged it for
Support
this show.
creators, yes.
But yeah,
It was supposed to tell us if we were going to be the final girl or if we were going to
in our movie,
In our
not
movie.
in somebody else's movie.
not if we would survive to the end of Get Out.
right. Yeah, disappointing.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, disappointing.
Especially for two white guys.
I know. It's like, duh.
It feels like that's a bad ending for that movie.
Okay, first things first. Will there be a Nintendo Direct this week? The question is out there.
Yes.
So, noted Nintendo leaker Nate,
And now we're asking it.
yes, Nate the Hate had previously been saying that there would be a Direct this week, but in the last couple of days has firmed that up to like a Nintendo Direct partner showcase on Thursday, February 5th. At this time of recording on Monday night, nothing is confirmed at all yet.
Right.
If it ends up being a full real Direct, we for sure will be talking about
We'll
it.
scramble. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, and then if it's a partner Direct, I don't know. I guess it depends possibly on like
The
substance?
magnitude of
yeah.
Well, so I think normally we would say like especially as we're in the middle of Resident Evil month or the beginning of Resident Evil month, they would be like, no, we'll just pick it up on the news. But like I think Nintendo is in a place right now with their partners where it seems like big announcements could happen at one
yeah,
of these
I agree.
things.
I agree.
So, yeah, we're just like all kind of staying frosty. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be a partner showcase?
I mean,
Or-
I think Nate the Hate is rarely wrong about this sort of thing. So I do think it's a partner
Right.
showcase. But what does that mean for a full Nintendo Direct?
Sure.
I think we were all kind of expecting like a regular Nintendo Direct in February for Nintendo to kind of like go back to their old pattern. And I don't think historically there's ever been a period where in the same like month or even kind of, like 4-week period, 6-week period in general, that Nintendo has had a partner Direct and then a standard Direct. They've had partner Directs and Indie World showcases.
Back to back, literally.
They've had partner
Or even on
Directs
separate
and
weeks,
like
yeah.
game-specific Directs.
Mhm.
But they've never had those like a partner Direct, a partner showcase, and a standard Nintendo Direct. So it would be
for the most
weird if
part,
they do.
Right. For the most part, the partner showcases come around when it seems like Nintendo has had these marketing partnerships in place and not had their own stuff that they want to show.
Yeah.
Right. So they're like, okay, well, forget it. We'll just package it all up together. We fulfill our contractual requirement to have these in a Nintendo Direct of some form or fashion, and then just not show off their own stuff. So it feels like if there is a full Nintendo Direct, there would be no need for a partner showcase.
Exactly.
But also the history of Nintendo Direct partner showcases is not long. The first one of these things happened in 2020. So yes, that is 6 years at this point, or 5 full years, and we're just starting the 6th. But like, there's not really been a reliable or predictable cadence of these things. I think we didn't have any in 2022 or 2023, something like that. We had 4 of them in 2020. So like, what a partner showcase is and when a partner showcase happens is not gospel. Right?
Yeah, totally.
And also we're at the beginning of a new console generation. Like we are still well within the first year. Yeah, I do sort of feel like anything could happen. But I would much rather this be a full Nintendo Direct
For sure.
than a partner showcase.
I mean, I guess like I was trying to math this out in the Discord, and it's like I guess they could get through to June without doing a full Nintendo Direct, and
Sure.
because I think at this point the only thing that we have like a time period other than just a year on is Yoshi,
Which
and
is spring.
Spring, so
Right.
that could be May.
Right.
And then that gets
or
you
also April, because
Or
Tomodachi
April.
Life, which is dated for April 16th, we'll talk about in a minute, is a Switch 1 game.
right. But let's say like they wanted to stretch it out, like okay, so you could get Yoshi in May, and then they could have a couple of other just like social media announcements on the level of like the Animal Crossing 3.0 update, that didn't require
Right.
a Nintendo Direct, like a trailer they just dropped. And so that could get you through to June if they, and plus you'll have whatever Pokemon is going to announce on Pokemon Day.
Yes, but if they're putting out games this summer, and they're going to put out games this summer, they have to talk about them before June.
But it could be a social media thing. That's what I'm saying.
That's
it's like,
true.
They could just announce it and promote it on social media without a Nintendo Direct, or they could do a game-specific Nintendo Direct.
Right, but that sort of feels like it's got to be for something that we already know about. And I suppose we could be like, July Splatoon Raiders, August Fire Emblem, right?
Right.
Like that's possible. But I want a Nintendo Direct.
I know, me too. Me too.
I like
too.
to have fun, Mark.
So yeah, it will be interesting to see what comes of this. But yeah, we'll adjust our schedule as needed depending on what happens.
Right.
Also, probably by the time you're listening to this episode, Nintendo will have announced their financial results for the last quarter. So we'll have official updates on Switch 2 sales numbers and all that kind of stuff. And we'll cover those next week.
Yes. And I wonder what this, because I feel like there is a Switch 2 doom and gloom narrative that's happening right now, which is just sort of reflective of like the general like gaming marketplace right now, and also just the economy in general. But like we do know that like Switch 2 is still like the fastest selling console
in the United States,
in the US.
Yeah, that's true.
And selling particularly well in Japan too.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder what that does to just like the overall narrative of like how Switch 2 is doing.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll see.
All right. Last week we got a new overview trailer for the Virtual Boy library coming to Nintendo Classics.
I am so happy with this thing. It's just a little like 3.5 minute video. Lit up my life. I was not expecting them to like come out with more information really about this. They sort of laid it all out, and some of the stuff we're going to talk about today is redundant to stuff that from the initial reveal event in September. But hey, it's coming up in just a couple weeks here, so let's dig into what they are.
Yeah, so crazy that we're talking about Virtual Boy basically every week, and it's relevant.
Not that crazy. It seems
but it's relevant, and it's relevant. That's
gotcha,
the part
gotcha,
that's
gotcha.
crazy.
Yes.
And also, this answers so many questions that we had.
Yeah.
Normally, I feel like Nintendo is not this transparent about, hey, here is our plan for this thing for the next year. So we now know the launch lineup when Virtual Boy launches on Nintendo Classics in February, or later this month, I guess, at this point.
17th, yes.
Galactic Pinball, 3D Tetris, Teleroboxer, Virtual Boy Wario Land, Innsmouth no Yakata, which they're calling the Mansion of Innsmouth.
Which this is previously a Japanese exclusive. And I don't know if, like, looking at the video that they have of it, there is English language text in it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that could still be like the original Japanese like languages in there, but I sort of think this has been localized, possibly.
I mean, also the fact that they gave it
They gave it a name.
that'll be interesting to see.
Which again is another thing that we're going to see a little bit later down this list, which I wonder if the in-game name for it is also changed. But keep going.
And then Golf and Red Alarm.
Right. So on our previous episode about Mario Tennis 64 doubles partners, I sort of theorized that Mario's Tennis would be available at launch, but it's not.
Yeah, still some heavy hitters that they're holding back, but a fairly good launch lineup.
Totally. And 7 games. It's
nice to have like Wario Land in there as well.
Yes, and Tellur Boxer will be, the best 7 minutes you play with the game before putting it down. And never touching it again.
They confirmed that it'll have a rewind feature.
Good.
And that it'll support button mapping. And included a diagram of the Virtual Boy controller, which is interesting because why include that?
Why include that indeed? How many people are going to be like, yes, that clears things up for me?
Right.
Yes, I remember the Virtual Boy controller. It is interesting that they are not selling a Virtual Boy controller.
Yet. Yeah.
Do you think that's coming?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they are looking at all the people purchasing this like Virtual Boy accessory are like,
which is currently sold out, by the way.
Yeah, I think temporarily, like I think it will continue to be, because this isn't a limited time offering on Nintendo Switch Online, so it makes sense that they'll continue to stock it. But yeah, is the cardboard one sold out? I know that
I don't know.
The Virtual Boy replica is sold out right now. But yeah, I guess I think they have sold a good amount of Virtual Boys and are like, we can take advantage of these freaks. Let's get this Virtual Boy controller up and going.
And again, the original Virtual Boy sold 770,000 units approximately, fewer than 800,000. Is it possible?
Yeah.
Is it possible that they're going to sell more Virtual Boys in 2026 than they did in 1995?
That would be incredible. Yeah, and then 7 additional games released throughout 2026. So all of these were previously revealed. Super Mario Clash, Mario's Tennis, Jack Bros, Space Invaders Virtual Collection, another previously Japanese exclusive game. Virtual Bowling, not boiling.
Not boiling.
Virtual Bowling,
which I would play.
Also previously Japanese exclusive. Vertical Force, and then V Tetris, again, previously a Japanese exclusive.
V Tetris, I'm very excited to try out. It looks like a very cool Tetris game where you're sort of like, there's a mode anyway where there's like a background layer and a foreground layer, and you can like rotate it, like line by line, or I guess column by column, and like manage both the front and backboard at the same time. I'm always looking for like a new way to play Tetris. A little less excited about the Virtual Bowling and Space Invaders Virtual Collection. Sounds like it's just Space Invaders. But yeah, it'll be cool to have all these games come out. They said that all 7 of them are going to be released throughout 2026, which implies that they're not looking to push this into the next year.
Yeah. Which was a question, right? Like, how long are they going to tease this out?
Right.
So it's nice to know that, by the end of the year, the entire library that they intend to put on here is there, including 2 long-lost, never-before-released games will be coming to Virtual Boy on Nintendo Classics later in 2026.
Right. So also, by the end of the year, they're going to be done putting out these games.
So Zero Racers.
Right, which is sort of a take on like F-Zero. It is similar to Red Alarm in that it's that real like wireframe sort of thing. Virtual Boy not known for being particularly like speedy in its presentation, so it'll be interesting to see how well it presents a F-Zero concept. But rad that it's coming out. It's a first-party Nintendo game.
And then D-Hopper.
Yes.
Which was previously known as Dragon Hopper. It's an overhead platforming RPG adventure from Intelligent Systems.
Yeah, there we go. And it can't be called Dragon Hopper because that's like a mobile game or something now. Sort of unbelievable to me.
Yeah, never would have guessed that they were going to put unreleased Virtual Boy games on this thing.
Yes. So, just points of data. D-Hopper and Zero Racers coming to the Virtual Boy Nintendo Classics library, and they're selling a plastic shell that mimics the Virtual Boy. That's one point of Nintendo being crazy. Another point of Nintendo being crazy is them adding Dixie Kong to Donkey Kong Country Returns. These two, 15 years after the game came out on, 3 generations ago, I sort of feel like nothing's off limits.
Oh, you think they're driving on the freeway with their lights off?
I think they are,
and you're not sure whether you should flash them.
I am not going to flash because I want them to crash into the wall that says Mother 3 Nintendo 64 edition. And try to put that out. Like it does seem to me like whatever, but Nintendo's never going to do that, is no longer a valid, they're never going to do.
Yeah, it just continues to be impossible to guess.
Yes.
What they're going to do, why they're going to do it.
We got remakes of the Famicom Detective Club games and a new one.
Very excited about Virtual Boy.
Yes.
On Nintendo Classics. I
mean,
mean,
one more feature that is coming later in the year.
That's right. And this one, I still do not understand the mechanics of it. I just don't get it. So later this year, you'll be able to change the color of the screen.
Right.
So the Virtual Boy, of course, renders everything in like red wireframe, and
against
they show
the black background.
And they show being able to change that red to blue or gray or green. But the thing is, you need to remove like the lenses from the Virtual Boy replica itself, or they show them. They show
just
something
like
taking
sliding
it
off.
out.
Right. So the lenses themselves appear to be red. Like as they move it, you can see that like the things behind it have like a red tint to them, which must be consistent with the lenses that were in the original Virtual Boy. Otherwise, I don't know why you would do this.
Right.
But yeah, really confusing that you have to.
Because what does it look like before this update is released? If you remove the red lenses,
it probably looks like nothing. I mean, it probably looks like the same, right? Because there are, like, it seems like there's 2 sets of lenses, basically. There's these sort of like superficial lenses that just like, stop your eyes from going any further. And then there's
the ones that we think are red.
Yeah. And then like the little bit of like goggle with like that actually seem to be, and those, the red ones seem like they're flat. Like there's no concavity to them at all. And then the ones that are more like what are in the Labo VR set, which do have a little bit of a curve to them. I don't really know what the effect there is, but I think that helps like with the 3D effect, or like focus your eye on the 2 individual screens that the Switch is rendering in real time. But yeah, it seems like that red lens is just a vestigial thing from like the original Virtual Boy.
Yeah, but I thought the graphics themselves on original Virtual Boy rendered as red, that it wasn't a.
They do.
Yeah, so I don't know. I find this whole thing so interesting. Like, again, like what happens if day one I take the red lenses out and I'm just looking.
I think you're just going to see red lines. Like, I wonder if having the red lenses, if you're viewing like the red and black graphics through red lenses, that it like softens the edges of them a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Or just like makes it less assaultive on your, retinas to have like everything filtered through a red.
Yeah, I'm imagining if you
filter.
try to play a Virtual Boy game and you take the red like lenses out without replacing them with another lens, it's just like Cyclops. Like,
yeah,
blast.
That's right. Just getting optic blasted in the face. The Virtual Boy graphics do come from the punch dimension, so it's
yeah, very excited for this thing to happen to all of us.
Yeah, it is truly something that's going to happen to us. Yeah, I'm very excited.
But I'm glad that the color change thing is coming, because it would be great. I mean, to my mind, to be able to play this thing in like grayscale. That's
totally.
how I want to be able to play it. So
I wonder if they will sell replacement lenses that are
interesting,
not tinted at all,
and it comes at the same time as the Virtual Boy controller,
maybe even bundled together,
and you buy it all for like $350.
the whole thing. Yes.
Yeah,
it is. I will say, well, Nintendo has been doing this with the other Nintendo Classics libraries and selling controllers with the various consoles. And so like there's this seeming like upcharge to access these libraries on top of the subscription. You do basically need to have one of these things in order to play the Virtual Boy, and it is a little bit crazy that you can spend that much money, $100 on this thing, and then still not actually own those games. You're only like you're like getting access to them on like a subscriber basis. That feels a little like
yeah, I know what you're saying, that like someday they will discontinue this.
Absolutely.
And it's not like, if you bought the NES Classic or something like that.
Yes.
Where you just have them.
Well, and beyond discontinuing, like if I spent $100 to buy the Virtual Boy shell and then I stopped subscribing to NSO, like why can't I keep playing those Virtual Boy games?
Oh, yeah, great point.
I mean, and it's it's the norm. Like you subscribe to the thing so you can get the product that is part of the subscription. But you don't subscribe to Netflix and then have to buy like a Stranger Things add-on that is a physical object you keep in your house, then can't. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
a good point.
There's no other real like precedent for it, and especially because like all of the other controllers are not necessary to play. You don't need the Nintendo 64 controller to play the Nintendo 64 games. It helps, but you don't need it, and you can use those controllers on other things.
Yeah.
This Virtual Boy, you're not gonna be able to play any other game with the Virtual Boy thing there.
These games will be in 3D, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Also, with the Virtual Boy controller, I think it's possible that they just include it there, that they're not planning to actually like release a physical controller.
Yeah.
And it's there more as like an educational thing, where it's like for
Sure.
people who are interested in the Virtual Boy, this is how it would have been mapped originally.
Yeah.
Just because Nintendo's other controllers, I think they can take for granted that people know them, have touched one, or like have seen one before for the most part. But the Virtual Boy, even like hardcore Nintendo fans, like I never owned one. You know what I mean? So I think it's just that could be a possibility as well.
I'm just saying if they wait till like the end of the year and like November, they're like, and now Virtual Boy controller, like you got me.
Yeah. Last Thursday also had a Tomodachi Life Living the Dream Nintendo Direct that showed off some more of the upcoming games, features, and revealed the launch date of April 18th this year.
18th or 16th?
16th. No. You got it right. I read it wrong.
Woo!
April 16th. So some highlights from the presentation. New Mii hairstyles and features. So they talked about, I love this. What is a Mii? Because, again, can't take for granted that, people are familiar with Miis.
What do you think people are more familiar with, Miis or the Virtual Boy controller?
Miis.
Okay.
I think,
sure?
I think I feel pretty comfortable
right.
saying that, yeah. But they also have, so it's in some ways like a classic Mii builder, but then some new that are specific to this game, hairstyles and facial features.
But they did actually spend a little bit of time being like, what is a Mii?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
They also are introducing non-binary gender options and romantic attraction options. So you can choose, like when you are setting up your Mii, you can choose like multi-select who you are interested in having relationships with.
Or who that character is interested
is interested in having relationships with.
Male, female, non-binary.
Uh-huh.
And of course, like they're not like saying like, this character is gay.
Right,
this character is bisexual.
right.
But just being like, who are they attracted to? It's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extreme custom.
Which, by the way, like that was something that the non-binary and the romantic relationships options were not present in the original Tomodachi Life, and was one of those like, why is Nintendo being like weird and conservative about this?
Right. And in some ways I was shocked, pleasantly shocked, but shocked that they did include these options in this game.
Yeah.
Extreme customizability seems like virtually every texture and tile in the game can be customized in some way.
Mm-hmm.
They say that the game is compatible with Switch 2. So similar to like a Mario Galaxy type situation where there's no Switch 2 edition, but the game is like playable, presumably will run a little bit better, but they haven't said that part of it yet.
Right. They just said explicitly that it is compatible with Switch 2 in the Direct, even though the product page on Nintendo's website currently says the game has not been tested on Switch 2.
I think it's just a formality, or like the product listings I don't really take as any sort of like gospel.
Well, and right. And there's another little bit here about the product listing.
Right, because after a little bit of uncertainty, it was finally revealed that the game is voucher eligible.
Right. So we were
in
talking
the
about
US.
this. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago, maybe even just last week. That the Nintendo Switch voucher program was discontinued effective January 30th. Where you could spend $100 on 2 vouchers that would be good for 2 first-party Switch games. And we didn't know whether Tomodachi Life Living the Dream was going to be part of that, and that we wouldn't possibly know until after this direct on the 29th.
And we didn't know on the 29th,
Right.
at least here in the US, when the product page was first put up and the game became available for pre-order, it was not listed as being voucher eligible. It wasn't until the 30th,
Right.
which was the last day to buy vouchers, that they updated that in the US. So I did end up buying another pair of vouchers
So did I.
to put towards this.
So did I. Are you? And remember, the vouchers, of course, are good for 1 year after their purchase date. So we have the entirety of 2026 and a tiny little bit of 2027 in order to use these things. And of course, we know that there is one more Switch One game coming from Nintendo this year, at least. Rhythm Heaven.
I can't remember what
I
this
can't remember. It's like
the title is.
grooving along down the road. Do we think that will also be voucher eligible?
Yeah. Hope so. Fingers crossed.
That'll be the first game that goes up for to purchase after the voucher program has been discontinued.
Yeah. But yeah, I would hope so.
I would, yeah, I would.
But
hope
you've
so.
already spent your, or
No.
you already have plans for your vouchers, right?
I have Yes. So my plan right now is Rhythm Heaven and Donkey Kong. No, not Rhythm Heaven. Tomodachi Life and Donkey Kong. But I'm also just sitting on them for right now.
Right. Yeah.
I don't need to buy Donkey Kong Country HD Returns. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD right now. I can also just wait. Maybe the game will go on sale at some point and get it for less than $50.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Nintendo is. Oh, so the last kind of bullet point here, and then I think we should just check in on what the direct showed.
Sure. Yes.
One last note is that Nintendo is putting limits on sharing screenshots from the game as well. The official word on it from the support website is not particularly helpful, at least the English version anyways.
Yeah, it's really just there are fun moments in these games that but some of them may be weird out of context. So they're not saying what, but some of the there will be some screenshots and some videos that you will not be able to share.
Right. Yes. And I think it remains to be seen exactly what that looks like. Maybe just you can't take a screenshot using the
Maybe. And that sort of thing is not totally uncommon, right? A lot of the Dragon Quest games have parts that you can't
oh, that's right.
save
Yeah.
video of
Uh-huh.
because they want to preserve spoilers or whatever. Or just they don't want people watching those videos. They want them to buy the game instead. So that doesn't seem like what this is, though. This seems like you're gonna get into weird scenario. Well, I don't even know. I wonder if they're just looking out for Charlie Kirk me's that they're gonna pull down.
Oh, I could totally see
specific,
that. I could
clips and
that's a great point.
screenshots.
I hadn't even really considered the number of Peter Griffins that will show up in,
Well, and
that sort of thing.
Peter
and,
Griffin's fine, but there's gonna be a Jeffrey Epstein.
No,
me on
I know
there,
what you
and-
mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense why Nintendo would not want to. I mean, obviously people are going to find ways to share them, but not make
Right.
it an official way to do it.
Right. And well, we have another little bit of Nintendo censorship stuff coming up here that I want to talk about there. So I'm gonna just stow the rest of my take on this.
All right. So a lot of the presentation, which was super helpful for me, somebody who never played the first Tomodachi Life, is okay, but what is this? What do I do? Right. And so the game spends a fair bit of time you create your person, you can give them different personality quirks, and like little like things that they do when they're nervous or hungry or whatever. And then a day in like the life, and they spend a lot of time with the character that they create in the game, like with her relationship problems, and there are funny scenarios that pop up out of that. And
Well,
like
and those are all relationships with other me's that you have also created. So
Yes.
like my impression is that like you create a you, right? Like a main character, but I might be wrong. And then like you populate the rest of your island with player created me's.
Yes, and then you're deciding like, should this person like strike up a conversation with this person? What should they talk about?
Right.
And that sort of thing. There's like a really, I thought, super funny scenario where her and her crush are on a Ferris wheel, and then three different me's like pop up, or two different me's pop up, also having a crush on the same character, and the character chooses one that is like surprising and funny, and it leaves your main me as like heartbroken, and it's just like, I don't know, it's really, I thought it was funny. It was
Yes, very funny and strange. Also, interesting regional differences in this Nintendo Direct. The American version heavily featured a character named Hugh Morris, or Humorous, who is like a jester, permanently wearing like clown makeup and clown clothes. And I'm not sure exactly what the other region was, where instead the clown is called Bubbles, and he has a different outfit on. Still clown related, but like is not Hugh Morris.
Yeah, I feel like the localization for a game like this must be like really demanding
Totally.
for
Yeah.
all the different regions.
I mean, honestly, all the writing and like scenario writing for this seems like it must be a huge lift,
Yeah.
right? And all like in the service of seemingly nonsense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I can't wait to see what people create with
I
this.
know, me too.
And I know that Nintendo is limiting it, but I know that people will find a way to share them, and I think that will be a lot of fun.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. Well, I think this is what you were alluding to
Mhm.
when you were talking about Nintendo censorship. We don't really have this written out to great detail, but let's talk about what is happening with Dispatch, the game from Ad Hoc Studios that was released on Switch and Switch 2 last week. And
After previously being released on basically all other platforms last year episodically.
Yes, that's right. And it wasn't until like reviews started popping up that, and maybe this information was available previously, but it certainly wasn't clear to me that the Nintendo version of this game on Switch and Switch 2 has, well, the game itself has like on other platforms has the option to like turn on censorship. And what that means is that over nudity, there's like black bars, and then it also cuts out like audio and stuff like that in some of the more, my understanding is like sexual scenes. And the reason that Ad Hoc included this in all versions of the game previously was for streaming. So people could stream the game
Yes.
and not have it be flagged on Twitch or YouTube or anything like that. But
So that's always an option on every version of the game.
Exactly.
Right.
But on the Nintendo version, it's not an option.
It just is always on.
And there's no option to turn it off. And this became a big deal because, first of all, like the fact that there were that you couldn't turn it off, surprising, especially on every other platform, it was optional.
Right.
But then neither Ad Hoc or Nintendo would say anything about it. Like, could really...
Right. And there was a lot of speculation about like the Japanese rating board, and like there being like different versions of the game that you have to submit for like different regions, and that like because like Japanese Switch digital games like because it's region free, that like they wouldn't have to submit two different versions, so they just like went with the more conservative Japanese rating things. But also that's it seems like that's not what happened here. It all seems very murky, but the end result is that the Nintendo version of this game is censored.
Yes, with
in a way that Ad Hoc designed.
Yes, yeah.
But is, not the full realized version of like their vision for the story.
Yeah. And Ad Hoc has put out statements since then, and like I think the CEO or head of the studio or whatever was in their Discord, and the most clarity that we've gotten is that it seems like Nintendo is the one who was saying no. And I don't know the process that it goes through at Nintendo, so maybe it just depends on who you get as the person who's like reviewing your game
Or
for
how
content.
hard you push back on it or whatever.
Right. And so where things stand currently is Ad Hoc is saying that they are working with Nintendo to the game will never be fully uncensored on Nintendo is what it sounds like, but they are looking at ways to make it like less censored or have the option to have it be less censored. Nobody
So
outside
weird.
of Ad Hoc and Nintendo knows what this means.
Right.
But and they're saying it would be like weeks away from happening, not days away from happening. But that's where things stand now. I thought we had gotten past this with the Nintendo, so it's always surprising when something like this pops up.
Yes, especially because censored or uncensored, it's an M-rated game. Like,
Right.
regardless, right?
Right.
You're not protecting children because it's an M-rated game already. Like, you have safeguards in place to prevent children from playing this game. So that's one thing. Another thing is Cyberpunk 2077 is an M-rated game that has genitals in it that you can just see as you're playing. So like the black bars that block that out of this game seem like a weird double standard, if nothing else. So it seems like a real kind of boneheaded decision on Nintendo's part.
So frustrating.
But this takes me to my like Nintendo censorship take that I think ties back to what they're going to allow you to share or take screenshots of in Tomodachi Life, but also sort of goes to the creation of the Nintendo 64 M17 Plus app. That Nintendo is always going to find the clumsy solution that is going to be more family friendly, like that their orientation is going to be towards family friendliness, and whatever clumsy execution gets in the way of that is just going to be tolerated. That they're like, whatever we need to do, an imperfect solution is going to be better than possibly exposing children to content that we don't want them to see.
And I think you're right, but I would guess that the way that it's framed internally is more like, how do we prevent Nintendo from getting into a situation where it is interpreted that we are like putting this in? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like a self-preservation thing.
Yes.
It's like how HR at a company is there to protect the company,
Totally.
not to protect like the employees.
Yes, yeah. Well,
And-
yes,
yeah.
absolutely. I totally agree with that. But I think that the reason why something like Cyberpunk has one set of standards applied to it and a Dispatch has a different set of standards applied to it is this looks like a cartoon, right?
That's
like,
interesting.
This is something that looks like it could be marketed towards kids. And obviously Japan is no stranger to the concept of adult animation. But I think they are just very sensitive to the perception that they would have something that looks like it's made for kids that would have questionable content associated with it. But I also sort of like question what I think they're just very conservative with these things.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I think it's also possible that this was just like a bad judgment call.
Yeah.
That this was like somebody made a bad call and now there's all of this fallout around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, I feel like the same thing is sort of true of that the Nintendo 64 M17 Plus. Like, it's a separate app where the M-rated Nintendo 64 games have to live because the parental controls can't like lock you out of individual games within the app.
Right.
But it's like, you made the app. Yeah, and you made the parental controls. And it's all on your platform. Like, what do you mean it can't? You can't trigger those one by one yourself. Instead, you do like the most clumsy option.
Friend codes.
Friend codes, yes. Like, all of it is Nintendo will be like, this is inconvenient and bad, but it preserves our like squeaky clean reputation.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you.
And they're just like, and then live to fight another day.
Yep. And like in some ways, it has worked for them, right?
Totally. Yeah. Well, and like there's already enough copy on the cover of a Nintendo Switch 2 game that like we don't need to add more content, but like I think now people are getting word and understanding that like the Switch 2 version of this is going to be censored on
And
like
the Switch
no matter
version.
what. And the Switch version, sorry. But that the game is uncensored on like basically every other
Right,
platform.
Everywhere else.
Right.
So, yeah.
Like I think as long as they're straightforward about it, it's stupid but not evil. And I think that's just where we are now.
Yeah.
Won't be the last stupid decision Nintendo will make.
No. Talking about this and like online interaction, friend codes, all that stuff. In the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream Direct, did they mention online play at all? I don't remember. I
don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's like an Animal Crossing type thing.
It
like
seems
your
like it's a
own,
very
like,
solitary
ecosystem.
experience.
Yeah.
It's also unclear if because the original Tomodachi Life had the ability to like share those custom textures and like some other custom like clothing items or whatever, and it doesn't seem like that's present here, but kind of unclear.
It would be cool if maybe like it feels like it'd be fun to be able to share Miis back and forth, if nothing else, or like pull in the ones from your friends. Like if your friends are also playing the game,
right?
Like have the option to like.
Well, you can send a Mii like outside of the game. I can send a Mii to you, right?
Probably. I don't know.
It's really interesting because you can save Mii's to Amiibo. I may be talking about like Wii U features here.
Yeah, I don't know.
This may be the same sort of archaic nonsense as flashing your high beams at someone as a gang initiation.
And the Madden curse.
That's right.
But anyways, yeah, that just made me think I'm still gonna operate under the assumption that there's some sort of like connectivity with people, even if it's not visiting each other's dream worlds in Tomodachi Life.
Do you know what I'm worried about in the Tomodachi Life? They won't let you share screenshots and video. I worry that it is going to be restricted to same-sex romance scenes.
I mean, we just talked about them putting, like making boneheaded decisions, but I would really hope they're not that stupid.
I mean, because that would like that's like a borderline hate crime.
Right. It's like, it's so obviously a cell phone.
Right.
In a way that like, I hope not. I really hope that that's not the case.
And it's also like, what would there be that they wouldn't want people to? Because like romance scenes in general are going to be the most shared thing from this game if you can share them.
Right.
Because that's funny. That's funny stuff.
I think, especially when you're getting like, it's not working out for you. You know what I mean?
Totally,
you're getting
yes.
dumped, or you put your heart out there and the person doesn't reciprocate. The Mii doesn't reciprocate.
The person is the clown.
Yeah. But to your point, I think it is just like
Charlie Kirk. Jeffrey Epstein,
like that
right.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes so much sense to me.
But that means that there's someone like not just that they're not letting you screenshot those things, but that someone is actively monitoring how or where you share them. Like to catch like this is a Mii of like a known person or provocative figure.
Wait, what do you mean? I don't think that they're like. I think
that you actually can't take this screenshot.
Exactly.
Okay. But I'm just saying, like, how does it know that you've made a Jeffrey Epstein Mii, for example?
I don't think it does. I'm saying in the game in general, I think they're just like, no.
Oh, okay.
Except maybe, like I think I just don't think you'll be able to officially, like I don't think you'll be able to hit the capture button and record video or...
Of what, though?
Of the game.
Any of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. The statement seemed to me... Hold on. I'm looking at the statement. While these moments are fun for players, we recognize out-of-context scenes may be misunderstood, may not reflect the spirit of the game. Nintendo is committed, blah, blah, blah. To support this commitment and in consideration of the unique gameplay in Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, we have decided to place restrictions on certain image-sharing features.
Yeah, and I think by that they mean
no
capture
image.
Button. Yeah.
No image sharing. That's interesting.
Yeah. The way I'm reading it is not like certain features within the game. Certain like image sharing features within the game.
Right.
I think they just mean like certain image sharing features on like the Switch and Switch 2, like that sort of thing.
Right.
And I think by that they mean we're just not allowing you to do it.
Okay. All right.
It could be wrong. Could be totally wrong. It remains to be seen. Splatoon 3 update 11.0.0 made some surprising adjustments to the game. Kind of like a Dixie Kong thing, where it's like
It's true.
after all this time of not just Splatoon 3, but Splatoon in general as an ongoing concern, they have made what I would consider a pretty big update to it, which is that when an ally or opponent has taken damage, that player's approximate remaining, there's a health bar basically.
Yes.
Like a health bar is displayed above them so you know how much more damage they can take or you can take before they die. And this has never been in Splatoon before.
Nope.
And now, 4 years after the release of Splatoon 3,
Yes.
they're like, this is the perfect time to introduce this.
And there's flow aura when you get in like a kill streak.
Yeah,
you
you do well in battle, and then you get like a buff for a short period of time. Plus, they made like a trickier hitbox for enemies when they're in their swimming state. Stealth jump has changed a little bit. Then of course there's the expected balance tweaks and bug fixes. But yeah, I mean, I was like, a health bar? That's crazy after all this time of Splatoon.
I know.
As a series never having health bars. It's like, nah, we
go.
decided to do
Here's
it.
a health bar.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Again, Nintendo's just doing whatever. Like, we're gonna get that third Zelda Oracle of game. we're everything is happening, Mark.
Yeah. But yeah, so I thought that was super interesting after all this time for them to drop an update like that. Finally, after being leaked a couple weeks ago, last week maybe, the Disney Afternoon Collection has been confirmed for Switch and Switch 2 with 2 additional games.
Whoa.
And both are 16-bit games, not the NES games that were previously in the collection.
Right, but they are still thematically consistent with that Disney Afternoon. We are not getting, Lion King and Aladdin.
Right. It's Bonkers, a cartoon that I'm not familiar with, and Goof Troop.
Bonkers is like some kind of leopard or something.
Yeah, he's like a toon in Toontown.
Right.
But I don't know if it's canonically the same Toontown as Roger Rabbit.
I mean, it seems like they wanted to make a Roger Rabbit thing, and then they were like, "Oh, we can't use Roger
Yeah,
Rabbit."
so here's like a cop.
Bonkers. Yeah, but
is
I mean,
Bonkers a cop?
Yeah, Bonkers is a cop, but
in Toontown.
Roger Rabbit works with Eddie, who's not a cop, but
Right.
he was a cop,
Yes.
right? Was Eddie was a cop at one point?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. That seems to be the way of private detectives in.
Yeah, he and
in
his
that sort of
brother
thing.
were like a private detective duo.
Oh yeah, so maybe they've always been private detectives. Maybe he was never a cop.
Hmm.
What I'm saying, well, it doesn't matter. Anyways, so yeah, Bonkers and Goof Troop are being added to the collection. I think just on Switch and Switch 2. It's not added as an update for previous versions.
I don't
as far
know.
as I can tell.
I don't know actually.
Goof Troop is the game Shinji Mikami made before Resident Evil.
So there we go. It's part of Resident Evil month. Welcome to the club, Goof Troop. I've never played this Goof Troop game.
Yeah, me either. The screenshot looked like a Link to the Past.
I honestly, I don't know what's going on there, but I would like to play it. All right, Mark, that's the news. Let's close this out. All right, that is going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. Remember, if you're not in the Discord, you should be. Email us, Nintendo Cartridge Society
at gmail.com.
The rhythm is back.
That's what happens when you kill a mosquito.
That's an hour ago. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by Apipetty. You can get more of his music by going to apipetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Eller saying thank you for listening.